Alright guys, let's create our project. We'll go to our XAMPP folder, into our htdoc, and create a project. We'll call it Android CRUD application. So when we create this project, we are going to open it in a Visual Studio Code. We'll go through the file location and use our command prompt, use code dot, and inside our Visual Studio Code we can now create the database config file. Inside our database config file, we can create our constants. We'll first of all create our opening PHP tag and create our constant. Now these are our constant. Will be able to, you understand what constant means, the information that we need, the database name, the database, the host name, the password, all that, and the database user name. So let's create everything so that we can connect it to the database. We call the name as Android CRUD, our database user as root, our password, for me I don't have password, I set it to null. Then the database, the next thing, we have created name, so the host is localhost because we are using our local server. So the next thing is to create the connection string, whereby it will be able to connect, when connecting to the database, we need a connection string that will connect all our constants to the database. So we're using my SQLite connect. So we're going to, this process I'm following, you must be careful. You set the host name, the username, the password, and the DB name. It must be accordingly. Then let's check. We are checking if connection is successful. If connection is successful, it should show connection successful. If connection, so you can see from our if statement, if it is false, then show that unable to connect. Else, if it is successful, then let it connect to the database. So we are going to test our work and see if everything is successful. So this is the simplest way on how to connect our project to a database. We are using XAMPP. So in our in our phpMyAdmin, we create our database name, which is the one we have. We don't need to create the table for now. On our next tutorial, we create the table. So we are going to open it on the browser and test our connection if everything is successful. So you can see it is successful.